So now we come to the workers' rights in Pakistan. So the workers' right in Pakistan is a critical subject, but not much importance is given to the worker rights. Initially, during the initial 20 years, there was not much importance given to worker rights, or there was no policies, and then there was lots of policies, and it looked like worker rights were improving and workers will get more rights, gradually reaching to the Western standards or ILO standards. But then, because of the downturn of the economy and desperate need of investment, there's now the current trend for the last 20 years is again reducing worker rights. So why this major present trend is linked with the reducing worker rights is because of the neoliberal economy, desperate need of investment, and decline of the NEFT. So they are not at present, or the last 30 years, there is not one major party which subscribes to socialism. So People's Party used to do it in the 70s and maybe in the 80s, but in the 90s it is not much different from other parties, and Labour has gone down in its political importance. So the data used in this module mostly comes from a profile of trade unionism and industrialization in Pakistan. It's by Zakaullah Khan Khalil, and it's published by ILO in 2018. So let's first of all look at the workers' distribution in Pakistan. So unemployed are about 6%, 94% are employed, 42%, which basically is almost half of them, are employed in agriculture, rest in non-agriculture, and an important statistics that 72%, more than 2/3 of the economy, almost 3/5 of the economy is informal. So, and formal economy is less than half of the informal economy. So this is one of the things which should be kept in mind whether looking at the different economic statistics in Pakistan, that most of the economy is not covered in official statistics. So if we look at the share of GDP for different sectors, agriculture is the highest, but it's only 21%. So employment share is 42%, but GDP share is much less, almost half of 21%. Then the second highest is wholesale and trade. Third is manufacturing and transport, storage. Financial insurance is 3.14, and mining is around 3. So these are the major sectoral contributions to the GDP in Pakistan. If you look at the workforce population-wise, in Punjab, it's workforce participation. So it's Punjab is 35%, in Sindh it's 30%, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa it's 25%, and in Balochistan it's 27%. So why this labor participation is so low? One of the major reasons is that women in Pakistan do not want to work, are not in a position to work. So almost half of the population is out of labor force participation. Membership of union has increased over the years. Now it's around, in 2016 it was around 1.4 million. One of the areas which most people don't know, that Quaid Azam was also interested in labor rights. Actually, he served as a labor leader. He was elected president of All India Postal Staff Union in 1925. This was a big union, almost 70,000 members. He also played a key role in the enactment of Trade Union Act 1926. So he was concerned about labor rights, and he actually actively promoted worker rights in British India. But after independence, Quaid Azam died, and other important people also died. Pakistan movement leaders also died. So industrialists found an ally in bureaucrats who wanted industrialization, rapid industrialization, and thought that giving worker rights will be against or will stop or hinder industrialization in Pakistan. After a long struggle, first major overall labor law was passed, which is Industrial Relations Ordinance 1969. And PPP was the first major party which actually, at least in the West Pakistan, which looked for support to trade unions and talked about labor rights. The Industrial Relations Policy was first published in 1959. There was not much follow-up. There were some laws which were passed, such as Road Transport Worker Ordinance, Minimum Wages Ordinance, and Apprenticeship Ordinance 1962. Then there was a labor policy in 1969, but then the country break up. Then in labor policy in 1972 by People's Party, it was a very progressive labor policy, but then again there was this break on martial law. Then 1981, there was a regressive labor policy which gave more importance to industrialist or capitalist rights than to the labor rights, and it was rejected by the labor. Then there was another labor policy in 2002 and another one in 2010. But mostly labor rights have not been given importance, and whatever the policies are there, they have not been fully implemented.